Day one, the scene hit me hard. Tents stretched like scars, empty eyes staring, and the sharp smell of neglect shouting a failed system. I witnessed the crisis of the homeless in America exposed and unvarnished, yet seeing alone didn't suffice.
One man's garbage is another man's treasure.
I've been clean for over a year now, and I don't want to go back. And if I don't have it, I'm probably going to go back. And I don't want to ever go back because it's going to kill me.
Today, I've returned to listen to understand the stories behind those faces, fading into Philadelphia's shadows. What broke their lives? How did they end up here, in this overlooked corner of our country? These are more than numbers. These are people, and their voices need to be heard. Walk with me as we reveal their stories. Pinky's struggle, 2 weeks lost to addiction in Kensington.
Kensington is hilarious and just great sometimes, but sad and evil.
In Kensington, beneath Philadelphia's gray skies, I met Pinky. She's 28, and everything about her seems full of contradictions. She's tall, articulate, and clear in her speech, yet she's caught in one of the most devastating substance abuse crises in America.
Actually has brought me out here.
She had only been living on the streets for roughly 2 weeks, a short span that already felt endless. Pinky spoke bluntly and honestly, almost like a professional describing her life as constantly balanced on a knife's edge. Her experience gives a stark, urgent glimpse at how quickly a stable life can collapse, driven by relapse and the relentless pull of the streets.
I know it's in the top 10 worst cities in the U.S.
Pinky, whose given name is Darian, once worked as a psychiatric technician in a psych ward's extended care unit. She had been clean for 2 full years after a difficult journey that included jail time and intensive treatment. Her young son is safe with her mother, thankfully. Pinky first started using substances in high school, now using potent synthetic drugs, the very reason she ended up in Kensington. Her addiction is deeply intertwined with her mental health. She uses drugs to numb her emotions as she struggles with depression and other disorders.
I really think that mental health goes hand in hand, and I struggle with depression along with a few other psychotic features. So I use to numb my feelings and stuff.
It's heartbreaking, but her relapse led to job loss. She was fired after showing up impaired at the psych ward. Now trapped in Kensington, she's using substances heavily every day.
I was until the end. That's actually why I got fired.
Oh, you got fired because you were high on the job or something?
Well, that's what they said, yeah.
She survives by helping her new boyfriend with minor drug dealing and relying on unemployment benefits. She even confessed to experiencing extreme effects from her substance use before adjusting her approach to minimize immediate danger. Despite her dire circumstances, Pinky holds on to a small thread of hope. Her main goal is to reunite with her son, and she plans to enter rehab within the coming week. Pinky's story is a sobering reminder that substance abuse must be recognized and treated as a serious mental health crisis. Her advice to young people is simple yet critical. Stay in school and avoid dangerous substances. It's just not worth the risk.
Stay in school and say no to drugs. As cliche as it sounds, I mean, it's not worth it, and it's not worth it.
Even though she's caught in this vicious cycle, her recovery plan shows she's determined to fight for her life and reclaim her future. Ronnie's fight surviving deadly drugs in Kensington.
Kensington's, to me, is like being stuck in hell.
Further along the streets of Kensington, I met Ronnie, a man whose face, though marked by obvious exhaustion, carried a hardened, determined expression. He was leaning against a wall, yet his voice was steady and forthright as he agreed to open up about his life. Ronnie's existence, like so many here, is a relentless, harsh struggle against a deadly drug supply and the unforgiving reality of being homeless.
When I first started getting high up here, it was regular heroin, but then fentanyl came. Okay, yeah, you know, I could deal with that, but then when the trank hit, it's a whole nother ballgame.
His story illustrates the modern addiction crisis vividly. As he put it himself, "When I was using, I needed substances more than air. I took them just to survive each day." Ronnie began with prescription painkillers at 17, gradually moving on to stronger illegal drugs by his late 20s. Now 39, he has been battling addiction for roughly a decade. Like many others, he ended up in Kensington because it's an open market where getting what you need is easy. He's been living on the streets for the past year, though he had maintained his own apartment for 5 years prior. The current drug environment is extremely hazardous.
You can get anything you want up here.
His addiction escalated dramatically with potent synthetic substances, which he described as an entirely new level of danger. These drugs are particularly perilous because they can render someone completely incapacitated, leaving them vulnerable to harm.
About every 4 or 5 hours, I'll go through like a withdrawal. Makes me feel like I'm crawling out of my skin. About 16, 20 hours, I'm throwing up, stuff like that. So just...
Ronnie has suffered severe health consequences firsthand, enduring injuries and infections that made even walking nearly impossible. He admitted that the paralyzing fear of withdrawal kept him on the streets even when medical staff warned that leaving the hospital could be fatal. "I already felt like I was falling apart inside," he whispered, explaining why immediate danger no longer registered with him. What stood out most about Ronnie was his resilience and the crucial support he received from the local non-profit Savage Sisters.
People, they help a lot. If it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't be around.
He viewed their drop-in center as a sanctuary, a place free of judgment where he could find emotional support alongside basic aid. When political pressure forced the center to close, Ronnie was devastated, highlighting how essential it was for mental and emotional care, not just food or shelter. He is one of many who urgently rely on these services, as he stated clearly, "I don't want to live on the streets. That's not the life I envisioned for myself." His story is a stark, powerful critique of a society that favors punishment over public health, leaving people like Ronnie abandoned to the brutal streets of Kensington. Voices Without Names, Reflections on a Failing System. As I venture further into Kensington, the stories keep arriving, each one a jagged fragment of a much larger picture. The encampments grow thicker, and the air carries the heavy weight of lives abandoned. I pause to speak with a few more people, names I don't catch, or ones they prefer not to give. Their faces blur in my memory, partly to preserve their dignity, partly because their experiences merge into a haunting chorus of loss. There's a young man, perhaps 25, who once studied engineering at a community college. He lost his job during the economic fallout of 2020, couldn't pay rent, and ended up here, his textbooks damp and ruined inside a bag. Then there's an older woman near 60, gray hair tucked beneath a worn scarf. She lost her home when gentrification drove the rent beyond her pension. "I didn't choose this," she whispers, barely audible over the rumble of the elevated train. Nobody chooses this. Each conversation feels like a twisting knife in my gut. These aren't just homeless in America. They're people each with a past that could have been mine. The young man's eyes, still sharp with intelligence, remind me of my own dreams and how easily they could crumble under the wrong circumstances. The older woman's quiet resignation strikes even harder. I think of my parents and how fragile security can be for anyone. What separates me from them? A few paychecks, a stroke of luck. The question gnaws at me, relentless and persistent. These stories are not isolated tragedies. They are evidence of a system that allows people to fall through the cracks, unaffordable housing, stagnant wages, and a healthcare system that treats mental illness and substance abuse as personal failings instead of public health emergencies. The statistics confirm it, cold and unwavering. The Department of Housing and Urban Development reports that job loss and medical debt are leading causes of homelessness, impacting nearly 40% of the hundreds of thousands of unhoused individuals in America. Yet amid this devastation, I notice small acts of humanity. A man sharing a snack, a woman offering a blanket to someone shivering. These fleeting moments of kindness, brief as they are, show that even in this moral wasteland, people cling to connection. It's a paradox. Kensington is a place of isolation, yet also a community of the abandoned, bound by shared suffering. I continue walking, my footsteps echoing intrusive. The weight of being an outsider presses down heavier now. I carry a camera capturing pain I cannot fully comprehend. I can leave this place, return to a warm bed, while these people remain trapped in a relentless cycle. That privilege sits heavy in my chest, forcing me to confront my role here. Am I helping by sharing their stories? Or am I just another observer? The ethical conflict is unavoidable, yet I push it aside, focusing on the work at hand, giving voice to those society has silenced. These unnamed stories, like those of Pinky and Ronnie, demand we look closer to recognize the human cost of a nation's neglect. They insist we ask why this continues, why we allow entire lives to vanish into the shadows. Facing the truth, who is responsible? The sun sinks low, stretching long shadows across Kensington's tent settlements. I settle on a bench at the neighborhood's edge, where the tents thin and the city begins to feel familiar again. Sitting here, I'm weighed down by the stories I've heard today. Pinky losing her children, Ronnie facing life-threatening health crises, and the unnamed voices repeating the same tale of shattered dreams. Each story is a thread in a larger tapestry of failure, not individual failure, but the failure of the systems meant to protect them. People who are homeless in America aren't here by choice. They are trapped by a domino effect of misfortunes, losing jobs, piling up medical debt, struggling with untreated mental illness, and addiction, all within a housing market that puts profit above people. These aren't random issues. They are the foreseeable outcome of a society that values efficiency and wealth over basic human compassion. Reflecting on this brings a mix of emotions, anger, guilt, and a desperate urge to understand. The anger comes from seeing how little it takes to push someone into total despair. A single accident, a period of severe depression, these things can happen to anyone. Yet our healthcare system, costly and often out of reach, offers no real safety net. Many low-wage workers can't afford even a basic apartment in any major U.S. city. Gentrification, like what forced the older woman I met from her home, has turned once affordable neighborhoods into enclaves for the wealthy, leaving the poor to scramble for survival in places like Kensington. The guilt is sharper because I am here witnessing it, but feel powerless to make meaningful change. My camera can document the truth, but it can't restore lives. The urgency I feel isn't to walk away, but to find a starting point, a place where real, lasting change can begin. What makes this crisis so infuriating is its visibility, yet how ignored it remains. Kensington isn't hidden. It exists right beneath the daily commute of thousands. Trains roar overhead, ferrying people to their warm homes and steady jobs, while below human lives remain trapped in cycles of despair. The contrast isn't just physical, it's a profound moral failure. When does simply knowing about this suffering become unbearable? That question isn't just for you, the reader. It's for all of us, for a society that allows this to continue year after year. The stories I've heard today aren't only personal tragedies, they are a demand for accountability. Who failed Pinky Ronnie and countless others? Is it the government with chronically underfunded programs? Is it us, the public, for choosing to look away? The truth is hard, it's both. We have built a system that discards people when they're no longer deemed productive, and we've quietly accepted it through our silence. Yet there is another layer, a small spark of hope hidden beneath the chaos. The acts of kindness I witnessed, the shared cigarette the blanket offered, show that basic humanity still exists even here. These people haven't given up on one another, even if the outside world has abandoned them. That resilience is a call to action, a reminder that change is possible if we demand it and fight for it. I cannot shake the sense that we stand at a crucial crossroads. Kensington isn't just Philadelphia's problem. It's a warning for cities and communities across the nation. The homeless in America are a stark reflection of what happens when society consistently values profit over the dignity and well-being of its people. Tomorrow I will seek out those actively working to repair what's broken, the people laboring in the shadows to rebuild lives. I need to see if there is a real path forward, not just for Kensington, but for all of us. Final thoughts. The urgent call to hear their stories. I'm back in my car now with the chaos of Kensington shrinking in the rearview mirror. The sudden silence inside the vehicle feels overwhelming after a day filled with the low hum of voices, the clatter of carts, and the heavy weight of stories that refuse to fade. My hands rest firmly on the wheel, yet my mind is still spinning from the stark, undeniable truths I've witnessed. Pinky Ronnie and countless others aren't just random faces. They are living proof that the American dream, that promise of opportunity, can collapse in an instant. Their experiences have left a permanent imprint on me, forging a strong resolve to continue asking the hardest questions. This video was never about eliciting pity that's too easy. It's about truly seeing, listening, and understanding life on the ground. We've heard stories of lives not just derailed by chance, but crushed by systemic failures, a broken and unaffordable healthcare system, a deepening housing crisis, and a society that often chooses to look away. Yet knowing about this devastation isn't the end point. It's only the beginning. These honest, powerful stories demand more than fleeting sympathy. They call for real, concrete action. They challenge us to recognize that this is not just their problem. It's our problem, a failure of the structures that govern our lives. Tomorrow, I'll seek real solutions. I'll look for the dedicated individuals and organizations working tirelessly to transform Kensington day by day. I want to uncover the practical interventions, the lifelines that can break the relentless cycle of addiction and homelessness. Will you join me in this urgent search? Don't let this be just another video you watched. Share this story. Kensington isn't merely a location on a map. It's a pressing call to action demanding that we address what is fundamentally broken in America. The fight for their dignity is a fight for our collective conscience. If we remain silent, if we turn off the camera and drive away without acting, we become part of the problem we claim to expose. Real change starts with awareness, but it cannot stop there. It must move from the screen to the streets, from discussion to concrete commitment. Every small act, whether volunteering, donating, advocating, or refusing to ignore, creates momentum towards a more humane world. The people I met in Kensington deserve that. They deserve more than sympathy. They deserve persistent action. So, as the city lights blur in the distance, I remind myself and all of you that this journey isn't over. The next chapter begins when we act together.